Just doing a quick video of our Syncro. Don't mind the geese in the back, they're going to be kind of loud. We'll do a quick walk around here. The vehicle's always inside. It is dry right now. It's not wet or anything like that. So it has been raining all day though. So we'll kind of get down to the details. Bottom's been rhino lined, not because of rust. It's all the rock chips from the bigger tires. They show up because it's got white primer, but we didn't fill any rust in or anything like that when we had this put on, so you'll see a lot of spots with the normal seam rust you see on these models. And down through here, again, that's all pretty solid, and a little seam rust here, and that goes all the way up into the doorway into here where they usually go. And you'll see we had it rubbed out last year, color sanded and buffed and polished. These little dots, these rock chips, and there's quite a bit on the front. But you also see a couple of these little holes here. I think there's probably 3 or 4 of them on here. This is the worst one. Got a little rust spot starting there. I believe that's it for this side. Got a little rub spots on the dog legs there. Front of the door's pretty good. It's been rhino lined. Again, nothing under that. It's just right over top of the original paint. Up around the windowsill here, got some chips. Got one that the former owner put a little RTV in. And then you'll see all the rock chips on the front, on the bottom, and then right down through here is a dent. I'll try to get that. Maybe we can get the light to kind of move a little bit. But fiberglass front bumper. There's a little crack right here. And we had that rhino lined along with the bottom of the van. Little dent right there. You can see the hit mark, and then the little change the way that the light hits it. I don't know how to explain it. Down through here, a couple door dings. That's an actual like hole something's been physically drilled in there. Rub spots down on the bottom here. A little bit of seam rust starting on this side. Not as bad as the other side. And then typical dot right here. Probably the most damage on the vehicle's right here. So this door, trying to move it back and forth so you can see it. It's got a large dent right here, and it looks like they continue to open the door up, so it's got little tick marks right down the side of it. It's really hard to see unless you get the light just right. But door's solid. Down here, the bottom. On this side, it looks like it's had a little bit of paint work in this wheel arch. Put my hand up behind it. I don't feel any Bondo or anything. I do see a little bit of filler on this side. I don't know if it was pitting and they just went ahead and kind of painted that. And then down here, got a little hole. Again, when we had it rhino lined, we just scuffed it up and went over it. We didn't put any filler in or anything like that. But seam rust up around there. And we'll look down through the top of the doors here. It looks like this side might be okay with no holes in the window sills. And the back door here. Go around. Nothing to be too worked up about. Gas cap's got a little bit of plastic missing off the bottom. The keys all match, all 4 key locks on the outside. Do a quick wheel well here. And that's some paint coming off. That's the primer underneath. Right here. And they got new, both sides, new upper ball joints, new tie rods, and the bottom ball joints were done prior. to us. The former owner did I won't say a complete restoration, but I think he had everything resprayed and used it as a driver. So that's pretty much it there. Again, biggest part of the seam rust right here on the driver's side. We'll move to the inside. Well, I'll go up top, get this out of the way. So we got I don't know if that's an 8 or 10 foot rack. It does have another set of arms. I think I've got 4 or 6 additional arms. It'll accept 4 more. So you could probably put another Vanagon up here if you can get it up there. It does, we got 2 kayak racks. The racks go with it, kayaks do not. Got a 4-place bicycle rack in the back that can go with it, and we do have a spare tire mount that would go with that. If you wanted to put the spare tire, we have a matching wheel and tire, and then there's one spare tire underneath in the original position. I don't know the condition of that. I've never had it out. It's got I think it's a 60-inch light bar, never hooked up, never been used. We were still kind of working out a switch panel, and then my wife told me to go ahead and list it. It does have a Bush Company 270 XT Max awning. It's probably the best awning that you can get on the market. South African company. Sets that in about 30 seconds. There's no legs or anything. We've had this in 30, 35 mile an hour wind, and it's pretty stable. So we'll get her unpacked here. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, but we just basically pull the straps and it folds out like this. And then I think this thing's been used about 3 times. Once you get the first couple layers out, pull out the next group. I got my straps here. Strap it back to the van. I think we need to pull all these out at once. Sorry, this looks probably funny on camera. All right, we have one more. We do. There we go. Got my hat stuck to it now. So, okay. So as you get it all butterflied out, that's kind of how it is. And you just simply walk around the back. Now I'm not going to strap it down. No point. Not a whole lot of wind today, so it'll stay put. Won't be very tight, but you'll get the idea what we're looking at. So this is what we have here. As you see, it goes around the front, probably about 2 or 3 feet. Comes out probably 7 or 8 feet. And since it's an XT, it goes completely around to the driver's side, probably 4 or so feet in the back. And it's got these aluminum trusses, and I'm told you can do pull-ups on these. I can't do pull-ups, so that, and you know, I'm almost 300 pounds, so I'm not gonna test it that much, but I have seen the guy who sold it to us do pull-ups on it. But pretty cool little system. All the trusses are up here, and the geese and the chickens don't like this. Model number, if we can get it. And we just ordered this thing probably about a year ago, and it's attached to the bike or the roof rack. So that being said, we'll just go ahead and tuck these in, move on to the inside. So open the door up. See, it does clear, kind of keeps everything, all the wind-driven rain from coming in behind. So inside, it has the fold-in bed or fold-up bed. Pretty clean. We just had it detailed probably about a year ago. Never really used it, but you'll see that you'll see some tears. It's got the typical vinyl shrinkage going on. When it gets cold, it shrinks. When it gets real hot out, you can usually put it back. It's a shame because the panels look almost like new. Little discolorization on the edges of the headliner. The air conditioner system. The air conditioner does not work. It has a new pump put on, and we had somebody look at the electronics. They jumped the relays and the fans and everything kind of kicked on. The pump did not kick on because there's no charge in the system. So I'm not sure if it's the fan switches up here or if the relays are shot. Never cared. Never really out in it when it was real hot. So it's got plenty of windows, but panels here. Seats. This seat will slide out. You just take the carpet out. It slides right out. You can get out of your way. We tried to find a table and a reverse seating for this. And then this does not have the mattress pad in the back. So I'm not sure if that was an option. We had another one that had that, but it didn't have this pad that's in here now. So I'm not certain if it was supposed to have one or not. So that's it there. Front seats. You see the carpets not staying glued down just like everything else. And geese are right next to me here. So front seats are a little faded, but clean. Little discolorization, but I think that's more or less just different fading points. And here's the vinyl problems I'm telling you about. It's just shrinkage. When it gets hot out, it kind of goes back, and then you can kind of slap it back where it was. But driver's side wheel well. Cheap radio. Front speakers don't work. Rear speakers do. And then the plastic surprisingly good shape. It's a little cracked in the back like all of them, but most of the time they always fall down. This one hasn't fallen down, so not sure if there's anything here. Just a bunch of junk. We take it to a lot of car shows. We take it to Good Guys. So we'll walk around here to the other side. Again, the door's open and everything while the awning's out. It's not like you got to do anything weird. It's right here. Look around. These panels missing the cover. A little dirty for my feet right here, but mileage 124,776. That'll go up. We still go out on it on the weekends. Shifter has a little bit of play. Probably needs new tabs. And before I started up, we replaced the heater core in the dash and a new blower motor. That probably doesn't even have an hour or two of runtime on it. That's the last thing that we did. So heater core did not need replaced. We just replaced it anyway. I do have the old one if somebody wants the original. It wasn't leaking, and it's all metal, so it's probably better than the one that's in it. But we'll go ahead and fire it up. Sometimes the starter can be a little weak, but it always starts. So typical. We got the charge light on to give it some RPMs, and then it's fine. Occasionally a cold start valve, or that's a cold start valve. That's my Audi talk. The idle control valve sticks a little bit when it gets warmed up when it's on the colder days. So not sure why. If it gets too out of hand, I usually just walk back and unplug it. But lights, high beams, turn signals, all that fun stuff. Temperature gauges all work. The fuel gauge works. Rear defrost, I don't know if that works. The light comes on, so, and then the blower, rear blower. I'm not sure if you can hear it back there. It blows. Front blower. That's all blowing like it should. Valves and everything all work. So right now she's warming up, and it hasn't ran for about a month. Okay, so again, it does touch the awning just a little bit as you guide it up, but it's almost right where it needs to be, where it stops. So we'll flop this guy up. See, we don't have any real rust or anything back here, no water infiltration. We'll go ahead and let you listen to the motor. So the massive 91 horse, 2.1 liter. Looks like 2006, the compressor was changed. The wires haven't been hooked up to the clutch. Not sure what's going on. Don't really care. It is what it is. We got a lot of Van Cafe hose hoses on it, or I think a majority of the radiator hoses back here. I'm trying to think of anything else. Just had a filter change. Coolant's been flushed out and replaced with the correct coolant. I had it in there before, but we wanted to make sure the levels were correct. I think it's had a new catalytic converter put in. So that's pretty much it there. Make sure I'll rev it up for you. Does rev good. Look at that. There's your cracks right there. Just here and there. Little Vanagon things. A little tear right there, a little tear here. A couple scratch marks. See the headliner looks pretty good. Just these weird little stains around the lights and all the vents. Got the blacked out or dark tinted tail lights and the front turn signals. Right there. That's about it. I don't know what else to tell you guys. I do have a steel chrome front bumper. It looks pretty good. We're going to try to use it on the back because the back one is kind of banged up. That wasn't because of us. That was because of the prior owner. We kind of smacked it out so we're straight again. You really can't tell except right here, but you know, it's done synchro things, I guess. But got a good hitch on there. We used to tow about 1,000-pound race car, my son's, to car shows and different events. It was supposed to make a trip out to Montana earlier this year, and unfortunately we couldn't go due to some events happening where I couldn't get off work. So that's kind of what we were prepping it for. Tires probably have 2,000 miles. They are the 14-inch Maxxis buckshots. It's got, you can see there, all the rubber lines are swapped out for stainless steel. Looks like all the lines are practically like brand new. We didn't change those, but they do look pretty good. Doesn't seem to leak anything. We had, let me shut it off so you can hear me. Now you can hear the geese. We just took it in. It had an alignment. They put the new ball joints on, the new tie rod ends, and then I think they repacked 2 or 3 CV joints with new boots and grease. They said they were starting to crack a little bit, but they weren't opened up yet. So a couple boots on there. Other than that, this is the awning here. And then we'll go back inside the Amazon guys here now. So we make sure he doesn't hit anything. New battery. It's probably about a year old, maybe 2 years old. Again, good heat, no air conditioning, drives down the road nice and straight. Again, with the kayaks on top, and this awning's probably 150 pounds. And it being a Syncro, it's a little underpowered. It's perfect for a Subaru swap. But other than that, and it's also a no knob. I know people say they got a double knob or triple knob, but this is a no knob. So I'm assuming it's open differentials, full-time front and rear wheels. I won't say 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, but this model did not have that. We do have a drive. We've never had the drive shaft, but we do have the drive shaft on order whenever the van place has them in stock again. So it will come with a new drive shaft. We'll go ahead and install that and make sure that's working okay. We don't have any issues that we know of with that. So, but again, the shifter got a little bit. I think it needs tabs. Everything else feels solid in the back, but I think the tabs are probably getting worn. And other than that, it's not a whole lot I can tell you. We went to several car shows in it. Good guys, probably 2 or 3 years. Always has a good turnout, and then it does tow pretty well for how underpowered it is. So The brakes, I know the front rotors and pads were all replaced, new calipers, both sides. The backs we never had any issues with. It is what it is. There's no reason for me to take it off. I'm sure when the guy kind of did his mild restoration, he probably looked at that. I do know the emergency brake is a little bit weak. It's up on the fifth or sixth click. And it'll hold it on flat ground, but if you're sloped a little bit, it will kind of creep forward. So it might need adjusted. I know the guy said that the cable is pretty rusty, so it might be due for a new emergency brake cable too, if that's starting to stretch. Down here, we got a little bit of rust here. And it looks like this is just a rub mark from the door. And then the tray, surprisingly, looks good. I don't see anything in, just the normal gunk and stuff that comes out of the wheels. But it shuts real nice. I don't see any rust or anything up in the bottom of this. It's just kind of pitted. Maybe, actually, little weak spot right there. But other than that, not seeing anything too messed up. So, but we'll go ahead and shut it. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you about. I believe that's it. So, get the kayak racks. I got a 4-place bike that goes into a hitch. I had a guy making me a front hitch so I could put a mini bike. If that's done, you can have that. If not, then, you know, it just doesn't come with it. But as far as folding this guy up here, you just start on one end. You just want to kind of dog ear it down, and it gathers all of the wings. I think you'll get 4 wings on this first shot. You just kind of tuck them up into here. So that's your first step. So you'll see the kind of all the ears here, and then you come up front. You'll grab this front one here and kind of push it up with this. Yeah, it just makes a triangle. And what you do is you kind of fold this up a couple times, 2 or 3 times. You put the bag back over top of it, zip it up, and you're done. So probably 30 seconds. Stays out of the way. That's about it. Then the kayak racks, it's regular kayak rack. It's nice with this because you can just climb up there and have somebody hand them to you. Since the vehicle's shaped like a toaster, there's no real overhang that you got to worry about. So you just lean them up against the rack, pull them up, strap them down, you're on your way. Trying to think if there's anything else that they told me at the shop while they had on the lift. They said the underside of it was pretty clean. I think they said back here underneath these areas on the bottom that there's a little rust starting to happen. They didn't really see it anywhere else. So as far as I know, that's really the only place that has rust other than the ones I've showed you. But all in all, a good vehicle. I've had my whole family in it, and we were planning a trip to Montana for 2 weeks to camp it, and just kind of got sidetracked a little bit with different career options. Excuse me. But other than that, it's good to go. Fly in, drive it home. Not a whole lot to say. Probably get down the road a little easier without the 2 sails on top. But just email me if you have any questions. That's all I can tell you. I've got some extras. Thanks. Bye.